ONETV Special Report.
Thank you, Honorable Sir. We proceed to the third ordinance for the second reading. An ordinance institutionalizing the Ozamiz Special Justice Zone, defining its composition and purpose, and appropriating funds therefore. Honorable Sir, this ordinance was pursuant to the creation of our city as the 16th Justice Zone in whole Philippines. There are about many cities in the Philippines, but we are chosen by Supreme Court to be the 16th, ika-16 na. So, sa Mr. privilege, kaya nakapasar sa ilang nasalay mga list, no? Requirements nga checklist requirements nakapasar ako sa city o sa requirements. So, nahimot ang
16.
ika-16 na decision na if you remember, doon ay launching atong joint licensing sa TULO kasyudad sa Cagayan de Oro, illegal ang Ozamiz, nga kita mo focus sa particular kaning usay online sexual abuse against children and usay online sexual abuse and exploitation of sexual materials nga kanya nanaydagang kaso sa amin na file nga na convicted ang mga accused sila munang nakuha ta sa Supreme Court, sa DLG o sa DOJ, tulo ka nasa license DLG, Supreme Court o ang DOJ nga kita ma-appeal sa decision. So, this is it nga magpasta ko rin nga ma-institutionalize din nga decision para ka na to na activities nga panghimoon sa sociedad to be sponsored by the Justice Zone Coordinating Council nga ang atong chairman sa JCC, ang atong executive judge, si Judge Monte Ramos sa RTC. Ang assistant commissioner si Judge Visiolo o na mga fiscals po, mga uban mga stakeholders. Dahil sa atong siyudad, we are glad na natin presentation atong city administrator, ang sa City Council natadi na ni Yosole, si Honorable Sanio Minal, Honorable Carlo Marleon, Honorable Atty. Danielao, and Honorable Vice Mayor, very officer, members sa DCC. We are proud nga ang Ozamiz na imong desisyon. Then Mayor is very cooperative ang desisyon nga nalipay sa si Mayor nga napilta munang we are auto believe nga Mayor is amenable aning atong move nga atong institutionalize ang decision through this ordinance. And may I begin with the discussion, Honorable Sir. Kailangan sa ordinance kaning funding nga naadre.
I think we have to refer that first to the Honorable
Section 6. There is hereby appropriated amount of blank or initial information of this ordinance for the year 2025. Kay ang akong take the Mayor, we know very well na the Mayor is the person solely accountable and responsible for the budget. So, it needs the implementor of the mayor. So, I would like to amend Section 6. Sabi nga, the funds shall be allocated by the mayor depending upon the availability of funds. And I am amenable nga the succeeding sentences nga the allocations have been made in annual appropriations ordinance. So, beginning next year, sa budget, ato lang i-allocate ang budget for the justice ordinance. But for now, for next year, kay ang atong budget, andito na hindi October 16. Nga ang tanang mga budgets, nagsabit na budget sa city mayor, ang city mayor supposed to be per the Bureau of Local Government Finance, mag-submit sa State Council sa budget for the next year, 2025, deadline October 16. But we know, wala pa na ma-submit sa mayor karon, busy pa sila sa pahimong budget. Gani atong SB5, wala pa mahuman. So, next week pa mahuman sa City Mayor's Office. So, for next year, ato lang i-suggest nga the funds, initial funds, shall be allocated from available funds to be determined by the mayor. Sa succeeding years, 26 and so on, ma-appel na atong budget. Kay himuon naman sa civil service o study, kung pilay angay nga ibuto sa budget. Dan ang JCC board, ang Justice Coordinating Council, mag-submit ang proposals sa City Mayor unsay mga activities. Although, we are aware nga, napoy budget ang Supreme Court, ihatag, no? Ang tulo ka agencies sa Supreme Court, ang DLG na ang DOJ, Justice, napoy budget. Pero kanang budget nga isupport sa LGO, sa may special progress ba, na yung mga activities nga paghimuon sa decision, muna punduan sa atong LGO. So, ano mo sir, I propose nga Section 6 to be amended to show that initial funds shall be allocated by any available funds from the LGO as determined by the mayor for the year 2025. So, ano na akong proposal, ano mo sir, sa funding na o sa uban nga proposal sa ordinance, kaya apel ako sa pag-permanent wala ko yung mga objections. Hindi ako sa funding kay during our meeting akong gisulti sa legal team nga commissions di tabo ko amount kay apil kayo ng panahon we are now pa-year-in na atong budget na defeated na uban. So, na mga requirements para lang masagang ang this month, November o December. Kani, ang atong naku gani, if you allow me to give a caveat, naku gi-insert nga realment, kay ato SB5, wala pa mahuman. Next week pa. Kung di na mahuman, wala sildo atong mga GO. Kaya remember, atong ikuha ng GO ato, kiparane, para sa atong mga bonuses, nagkipipara sa atong City Mayor's Office, para piparan na atong taplan. Di ba atong taplan? Naglalanta sa ubang nga accounts, atong mong gibalik sa mga GO para nasa sildo. Pero wala na mahuman ang SB5. Susort atong budget. Kaya atong gibalik sa GO, wala ma-approve sa SP sa maligan kay wala nadugay ang SB5. Di ba na di punta kapadali kay busy po na City Mayor's Office. So muna na ako gihimo real alignment in the meantime nga buta ato atong electoral services para masiduan karong November 15. Kaya happy na ba? Now is November 12. Please lang masido na. kung di na maralayan karon, di sunduan. Atong mga GO. Kaya nalangan ang SP5, next week pa. So, muna ko sir, ako na itong ikabiat, no, sakta sa members nga, muna yung rason nga, ang atong Section 6, atong yung amen, kaya wala tayo budget, kaya atong budget this year, ikan naman sa last year. So, for this year, depends mayor kung pila yung allocate, pila yung realign para initial funding for next year. So, I hope my colleagues got my point. Honorable Sir, I here to further discussion on this ordinance, Honorable Sir.
Thank you, Honorable Majority Floor Leader. Any comments or remarks regarding the manifestation of the Honorable Majority Floor Leader? Any reaction? Okay, one and foremost,
If there is none, I move for approval of this
item number 3.
decision ordinance institutionalizing the Ozamiz special decision defining its composition and purpose and affecting policy report, subject to the amendments which I articulated a while ago, Honorable Sir, for approval on second reading, and this will be scheduled for the third reading next week on our regular session on November 19. Honorable Sir, so we can approve this before
Christmas.
because the GC will have a meeting on November 20. Kung sa yung programs ang pajis nga ating natin. Kung ma-meeting ang GCC kung November 20, na ordinance. Kaya we are going to approve this if hopefully by November 19. Pag-meeting lang mo sa GCC, approve na yung ordinance. So I move this motion, Honorable Sir.
There's a joint motion from the Honorable Majority Floor Leader for the approval of this ordinance institutionalizing the Ozamiz City Special Justice Zone, defining its composition and purpose, and appropriating funds thereof. Move for its approval on the second reading. Any comment? Remarks? Hearing that motion approved.
Thank you, Honorable Sir. We proceed to unassigned business literacy, whereby we have 8 approving sessions, Honorable Sir, and may I start with the first. Resolution approving the information education drive on safety and security procedures of the airport by Civil Aviation Authority of the Philippines, CAAP, on 14 December 2024 at Barangay Labo, Ozamiz City. And I yield to Chairman of the Committee on
Public Utility.
Transportation, Public Transportation, Honorable R.C. Romero, to introduce and recommend action on this item, Honorable Sir.
The Honorable R.C. Romero is now recognized by the Chair for the appropriate motion on item number 1 on our
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you, Majority Floor Leader.
questions.
Madam Chair, I move to pass this proposed resolution approving the information education drive on safety and security procedures of the airport by the Civil Aviation Authority of the Philippines, CAAP, on 14 December 2024 at Barangay Labo, Ozamiz City. Madam Chair, passing this for first reading
For first reading with reservation.
with reservation, Madam Chair.
There is a motion from the Honorable Romero to pass this resolution as being manifested for first reading with reservation. Motion approved.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Due to its urgency of this matter and interest of the public service, Madam Chair, I move to pass this proposed resolution approving information and education drive for second and final reading within the internal rules.
Due to the urgency of this request resolution, Honorable Romero is passing this on the second and final reading. This resolution approving the information education drive on safety and security procedures of the airport by the Civil Aviation Authority of the Philippines on December 14, 2024, Barangay Labo, Ozamiz City. Any comment? Remarks? Hearing none, motion approved on the second final reading, waiving the internal rules.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Proposition number 2, a resolution approving the monitoring activities and meetings in the barangays of Ozamiz who are recipients of the DSWD Pamana LGO-led Sustainable Livelihood Program, Pamana SLP, by the Department of Social Welfare and Development for a period 18 November to 31 December 2024, and particularly the recipients of the DSWD Pamana LGO-led Sustainable Livelihood Program, namely Barangay Tinago, Lambo, Tinago, Pamana SLPA, Barangay 50 District, 58, Pamana SLPA, and Barangay Malobang Socialist Livelihood Pamana SPA. I now yield Chairman of the Committee on Social Services and Community Development, Honorable Sunny Waminal Jr. to introduce and recommend action on this item, Honorable Chair.
The Honorable Sancho Waminal is now recognized by the Chair for the appropriate motion.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you, Majority Floor Leader. Good afternoon, everyone. And this sample presentation would like to move a resolution approving the monitoring activities and meetings in the barangays of Ozamiz who are recipients of the DSWD Pamana LGU-led Sustainable Livelihood Program by the Department of Social Welfare and Development, DSWD, for the period 18 November to 31 December 2024. Be approved on first reading with reservation, Madam Chair, on joint motion.
For first reading, with reservations, motion approved.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Due to its necessity, may I therefore move that the same be approved on second and final reading, waiving the internal rules of this Sanggunian. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Due to the urgency of this request resolution, the Honorable Waminal is passing this on the second and final reading, waiving the internal rules. A resolution approving the monitoring activities and meeting in the barangays of Ozamiz City who are recipients of the DSWD Pamana LGU-led Sustainable Livelihood Program, or the Pamana SLP, by the Department of Social Welfare and Development, DSWD, for the period November 18 to December 31, 2024. Motion approved on the second and final reading, waiving the internal rules.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Proposition number 3, a resolution approving the Christmas activities of Mayor Hilarion A. Ramiro Senior Medical Center, or MARS MC, for a period December 2, 2024 to January 11, 2024 at the Mars Medical Center and Grand Pavilion Events Place, Manabay, Ozamiz City. And in this request are enumerated the activities from December 2 to January 11 by the Mars MC. But I now yield to the Chairman on the Committee on Hospitals and Committee on Public Health and Sanitation, Honorable Catherine C. Lim, to introduce and recommend action on this item, Honorable Chair.
Honorable Lim, you are now recognized by the Chair.
Thank you, Madam Chair. On joint motion, I would like to pass a resolution approving the Christmas activities of Mayor Hilarion A. Ramiro Senior Medical Center for the period 2 December 2024 to 11th January 2024 at the Mars 2025 at the Mars Medical Center and Grand Pavilion Events Place, Manabay, Ozamiz City, for first reading with reservation, Madam Chair.
Move for first reading with reservation. Motion approved.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Passing this resolution on second and final reading with the several Christmas activities, December 2, 2024, opening ceremony and Christmas tree lighting, December 4, 5, and 6, Christmas Bazaar, December 11, 12, 13, Christmas Bazaar, December 18, 19, 20, Christmas Bazaar, December 13, 2024, alay sa pasyente, food giving to patients and gifts for pedia patients. And lastly, January 11, 2025, Medical Paramedical Division Christmas Party, Madam Chair, for second and final reading, waiving the internal rules.
Move with the Honorable Catherine Lim this proposed resolution for the second and final reading, waiving the internal rules as being manifested. Any comment, remarks? Hearing none. Motion approved on the second and final reading, waiving the internal rules.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Approving Institution number 4, resolution approving the meetings in preparation for a maritime security simulation exercise by the Philippine Ports Authority on 14 November 2024 and 18 November 2024 at the PPA PMO Misamis Occidental, Ozamiz Conference Room. And I yield to Chairman of Committee on Public Transportation and Public Utilities, Honorable Archie Ramiro, to introduce and recommend action on this item, Honorable Chair.
The Honorable Romero is now recognized for appropriate motion.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you, Majority Floor Leader. Madam Chair, I move to pass this proposed resolution approving the meetings in preparation for a maritime security simulation exercise by the Philippine Ports Authority, PPA, on 14 November 2024 and 18 November 2024 at the PPA, PMO Misamis Occidental, Ozamiz City Conference Room. Passing this for first reading with reservation. Madam Chair.
Move for first reading with reservations. Motion approved.
Thank you, Madam Chair. In the interest of public service, Madam Chair, I move to pass this for second and final reading, waiving the internal rules.
Due to the urgency of this request resolution, the Honorable Romero is passing this on the second and final reading, waiving the internal rules. Any comment, remarks? Hearing none. Motion approved on the second and final reading, waiving the internal rules.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Upon Decision number 5, a resolution authorizing the local chief executive to enter into a contract for the completion of multiple hall covered court located at Barangay Jimalona, Ozamiz City, and to perform all acts for the implementation of the project funded from the buildings, construction, repair improvements of emergency operations center, health centers, or evacuation centers program of the 5% local disaster risk reduction and management fund of 2024. And I yield to Chairman of Committee on Public Works and Infrastructure, Honorable Saulo Salvador, to introduce and recommend action on this item, Honorable Chair.
The Honorable Saulo Salvador is now recognized by the Chair for the appropriate motion.
Thank you, Mr. Majority Floor Leader. Thank you, Madam Chair. I move to pass a resolution authorizing the local chief executive to enter into a contract for the completion of multipurpose hall covered court located at Barangay Jimalona, Ozamiz City, and to perform all acts for the implementation of the project funded from the buildings, construction, repair, improvement of emergency operation center, health centers or evacuation centers program of the 5% local disaster risk reduction and management fund of 2024. Madam Chair, I move to pass this resolution on first reading with reservation.
Move for first reading with reservations. Motion approved.
Thank you, Madam Chair. For the interest of the public and its urgency of this project to be implemented, I move to pass this resolution on second and final reading, waiving the internal rules on joint motion.
Move with the Honorable
Thank you,
Saulo
Madam Chair.
Salvador to pass this request resolution on the second and final reading, waiving the internal rules. Any comment, remarks? Hearing none. Motion approved on the second and final reading, waiving the internal rules.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Upon Decision number 6, resolution authorizing the local chief executive, Attorney Henry Bueno Jr., to enter into and sign on behalf of Ozamiz City the Memorandum of Agreement with the Department of Health, Northern Mindanao Center for Health Development for the implementation of medical assistance to indigent and financially incapacitated patients, MAEPIP program. And I yield to Chairman of the Committee on Social Services and Community Development, Honorable Sunny Omila Jr., to introduce and recommend action on this item, Honorable Chair.
Honorable Saulo Salvador, you are now recognized by the Chair.
Sunny Omila Jr.
Sancho Baminal, you are now recognized by the Chair for the appropriate motion.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you again, Majority Floor Leader. On joint motion, Madam Chair, I move to pass a resolution excuse me, authorizing the local chief executive, Attorney Henry F. Wamila Jr., to enter into and sign on behalf of Ozamiz City the Memorandum of Agreement MOA with the Department of Health, Northern Mindanao Center for Health Development for the implementation of the medical assistance to indigent and financially incapacitated patients, MyFaith program. Be fast for first reading, Madam Chair, on joint motion.
Move for first reading with reservations. Motion approved.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Considering the urgency and in this, the spirit of public service, may I therefore that the same be approved on second and final reading, waiving the internal rules of this Sanggunian. Thank you.
Due to the urgency of this request resolution, the Honorable Waminal is passing this resolution authorizing the local chief executive, Attorney Henry F. Waminal Jr., to enter into and sign on behalf of Ozamiz City the Memorandum of Agreement with the Department of Health, Northern Mindanao Center for Health Development for the implementation of the medical assistance to indigent and financially incapacitated patients program. Motion approved on the second and final reading, waiving the internal rules. Any comment? Remarks? Hearing none. Motion approved. The second and final reading.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Approve decision number 7, the realignment of the amount of 350,000 from the account fuel, oil, lubricant expenses to be aligned to the account janitorial services. I move this motion to approve this realignment for the first reading with reservations, Honorable Chair.
Pass on the first reading with reservations. This realign the amount of 350,000 from fuel, oil, lubricant expenses to janitorial services. Motion approved.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. In the interest of public interest and to espouse sound fiscal management, as I have explained in a caveat manifestation a while ago, that our SB5 or submitted number 5 will still be ongoing and to be finished by next week. And our account of the service is already short because of the non-completion of the SB5. So we need to realign from this account of pure oil and lubricants expenses because anyway, it's not to worry for our expenditures sa atong fuel and lubricants. For the month of November and December, it's already obligated. So wala tayo worry. So we have to realign this amount dito sa service para masuduan itong mga GOs by November 15. By November 30, wala pa kaya po ng SB5, we could still make a alignment na mga accounts na itong na-identify ako ng kwarta. So, with that, Sir, in this of public service, I move on joint motion to approve this realignment of 350,000 from fuel oil lubricant expenses to janitorial services for approval on second and final reading, waiving the internal rules, Honorable Chair.
For purposes of public service, the Honorable Majority Floor Leader is passing this request resolution for the alignment of the amount of 350,000 from fuel, oil, lubricant expenses to janitorial services. Move for its approval on first reading with reservations. Motion approved.
O second and final reading, Honorable Chair.
Move for second reading. Second and final reading, waiving the internal rules. Motion approved.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. The last but not the least, appropriation number 8, the 2024 Barangay Supplemental Budget number 2 o Barangay Kinuman Sur, Sangguniang Kabataan, City, in amount of 203,250 pesos for approval and appropriate action as endorsed by the City Budget Officer and to the Chairman on Iski Matters, Honorable John Pil Dendon de Lungsod, to endorse and recommendation is last item, Honorable Chair.
The Honorable John Phil Duhay Longsod is now recognized by the Chair for the appropriate motion.
Thank you, Majority Floor Leader and Madam Chair. May I therefore move for the first reading a resolution approving the 2024 Barangay Supplemental Budget Number 2 Series of 2024 of Barangay Kinumansur SK in the amount of 203,250 pesos for first reading with reservation, Madam Chair.
Move for first reading with reservations. Motion approved.
Since this supplemental budget of the Barangay Kinumansur SK, Madam Chair, is being endorsed by City Budget Officer Ma'am Evelyn Omelda, may I therefore move for the second and final reading, waiving the internal rules on joint motion, Madam Chair.
For public interest, the Honorable Duhay Longsod is passing this on the second and final reading. This 2024 Barangay Supplemental Budget Number 02-2024 of Barangay Kinumansur Iski in the amount of 203,250 pesos. Motion approved on the second and final reading, waiving the internal rules. Any comment? Remarks? Hearing none. Motion approved on the second and final reading, waiving the internal rules.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. There are no pending matters on my table under item number 8 and number 10. Business for third reading. So at this juncture, Honorable Chair, we have the pleasure and privilege to hear official matters from Honorable Dingusiso, Honorable Chair.
The Honorable Dingusiso is now recognized by the Chair for the appropriate motion.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. I have two items for PCL matters, Madam Chair. First is the PCL Congress has already a tentative schedule, which will be this coming December 12 and 13 at Aya Hotel. This could also be the PCL's gathering for the Christmas party as well, Madam Chair. And second item is on the upcoming December 3 to 5 year-end assembly at Manila, Madam Chair. We already had our checks available for cash advances, and we encourage our fellow councilors to have it submitted to our assigned respective LS so that we could have it deposited on PCL account, including also the payment of our airfare tickets to Honorable Cypress. Thank you very much, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Suiso, for your information. Noted.
Just a small reminder, naisobra atong cash advance og 2299 murag kita plan ni Honorable Loy Pintisipes, our financier. So atong iuli paliog yata lang sa LS sa para mahatag ang Honorable Cypress. Thank you very much, Honorable Cypress, for that magnanimity of the cash advance nga imong kita plan.
May I...
Yes, Honorable Cypress, for your comment or reactions.
Yes, Madam Chair. Wala to nako siya gitapli, Madam Chair, but ato to siyang ibalik sa LGU. Kay instead of ang nabutang sa atong ticket mga 10,000, so napalit raman ang ticket mga around 8,000. So ang katong sobra ibalik na to siya sa LGU.
Okay, noted.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. At this point of time, may we have the privilege and pleasure to hear on SK matters from Honorable John Phil Duhay Longsod, Honorable Chair.
Honorable Duhay Longsod, you are now recognized.
None at this moment, Madam Chair. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Honorable John Phil Duhay Longsod. At this point of time, may we have also the pleasure and privilege to hear on ABC matters from our colleague, Honorable John Carlo Malayon, Honorable Chair.
Honorable Giancarlo, you are now recognized.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Wala po ko'y ma-report karon. Thank you.
Okay, noted by the Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Thank you, Honorable Malayon. At this juncture, may we have now pleasure and privilege to hear on matters concerning the indigenous people from Honorable Dingusiso, Honorable Chair.
Honorable Suiso.
For IP matters, Madam Chair. On the scheduled free prior informed consent on the application of Press Cocina at Stimson Abordo, we will proceed with the November 22 schedule on the drafting of the memorandum of agreements among the applicants as well as the 5 barangay ancestral tribes of Ozamiz City this coming the November 22, Madam Chair.
November 22?
Yes, Madam Chair.
Okay.
That is the advisory coming from the NCIP of the province. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Suizo, for your information. On November 22, that is Friday.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. At this point of time, I nail to my colleagues for any important and significant information or announcement for any relevant and material information, Honorable Chair, before I proceed to item number 15.
Yes, yes,
May we have Honorable Suizo, Honorable Chair?
Honorable Suizo, you are now recognized.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. Yesterday, Madam Chair, we were awarded at the provincial closing ceremony of the 95th Misamis Occidental anniversary during their flag ceremony for the Misamis Occidental Trade Fair. Ozamiz City bags the #1 spot, the rank 1 or the championship award for the best booth competition. We vested other cities and municipalities. Tangub City is the second, and Aloran and Baliangao. Third, fourth is sa Pangdalaga and Calamba. Also, Madam Chair, we during the Pirangat street dancing competition held last Saturday, November 9. Ozamiz City bag the third place for the best